I'm Dr. Shannon Ferguson, and this is Move It or Lose It, where I talk about pain-free living and what you can do at home to achieve that. Today I'm talking about the principles of stretching and my 10 rules to make stretching at home more effective. Number 1, hold for long enough. Most people I find aren't holding their stretches long enough to actually create any long-term changes in the tissue. My general rule is under 30 seconds, you're usually just relaxing the muscle. Between 30 seconds and a minute, you're starting to affect the muscle tissue, and over a minute, you're starting to affect the fascia. So I generally recommend to people, most stretches should be within 30 seconds to a minute, and if something is chronically shortened or a problem for you, aim for a minute plus. Number 2 is every body is different. A stretch that works for someone else may not necessarily work for you. So experiment in that posture and move around a little bit and find where the stretch feels best for you. Number 3 is stretching should not be painful. It can or should be uncomfortable, but it should not be painful. If you're finding that a stretch is painful and you're not able to hold it for the right length of time, back off a little bit, move around in that form or posture and see if something feels a little better, or move into the stretch slowly until you reach that discomfort, but not pain. Number 4 is you should feel the stretch across the whole muscle. If you only feel the stretch across a joint, then you're probably only stretching the structures across that joint, but you want to stretch that whole muscle. For example, if you're stretching out your pec, if you just feel it here, you're probably not stretching the right structures, and you should feel it all the way across to your sternum. Number 5 is the part that hurts is probably not the main problem, it's probably the losing side. So basically with this, I mean stretch everything connected to that muscle. So for example, if your back hurts, you probably want to stretch your pecs because your back is the losing side and your pecs are the problem. Number 6, everything connects eventually. This is very similar to my last point, but it extends it a little bit further. What I mean is that your toes are eventually connected to your head. And ideally, I want people to be stretching their entire bodies, not just isolated regions. Number 7 is to adjust your goal when it comes to flexibility. There is no ideal flexibility. There is no standardized measure of what you should be aiming for. Really what we're aiming for is fluid movement throughout all joints and a decent range of motion without any daily pain. Number 8 is stretch, but preferably when your muscles are already warm. I get this question a lot, which is the best time to stretch? And there is no real correct answer, but you are going to get a little bit more out of stretching if it's after an activity and your muscles are already warm. But it isn't wrong to do it before an activity. Just be a little bit more gentle with your muscles. Number 9 is stretch regularly. This doesn't mean every single day necessarily. Most people don't really have time for that, but I would like people to do a full body foam roller stretch at least once or twice a week. If you can add in every day the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stretches that are most important for you and your condition, then that's awesome. But don't feel pressure to do it every single day because you can still get a lot of mobility benefit out of just several times a week. Number 10 is flexibility is only a part of the picture. When it comes to musculoskeletal issues, there's usually an imbalance of both flexibility and strength around a joint, so it is important to look at some sort of strength or resistance training, and with a coach is probably the best bet. Another big factor is nutrition. So our bodies need the right micro and macronutrients to heal, and if you don't have those, healing is going to take a lot longer and it might not fully complete. So while flexibility is really important and I'm super passionate about it, it is only a part of the picture. I hope you enjoyed my 10 tips on making stretching more effective. If you liked this video, please subscribe for more videos on stretching and pain-free living.